So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Navamsa video of the week. And this week we're going to be covering Mars in the 11th house of your D9 Navamsa chart. As in what happens when Mars is in the 11th house of a divisional chart known as Navamsa in Vedic Astrology, which is one of the most important charts in anybody's life because it represents your married life, what you gain through marriage. It also represents the core of your planets from the birth chart. So if birth chart is the tree, Navamsa is the fruits. It shows what the fruit, what is it that a planet is going to pretty much give you as the result of what you will experience in the birth chart. And it is, it's pretty much a chart of your maturity, because we mature at 36 when Saturn matures. That's when this Navamsa also matures. So that's what we're going to discuss today. And as always, if you do not know if you have this particular position of the planet in Navamsa and what your other planetary positions are here, along with your birth chart and all the details, for that check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultations, under the shop section, including my academy, Maga Vedic Astrology Academy, where I teach you everything about astrology that I know. And also I'm going to start a new course soon of planets through nakshatras there by next week. I'll announce that when it's actually available there. So anyway, let's get started with this position. So what is the 11th house of your D9 Navamsa? Well, 11th house in D9 specifically represents the desires, the fulfillment of desires and hopes and wishes that you get through marriage. It shows the gains that you receive through the bondage of marriage, the legalization of marriage. It represents how your friendships and your network circle changes through marriage. And it also, in a way, will also represent the same thing, even if you're single, as you mature into your new part of life after Saturn matures. 11th house also represents, diseases, represents big organizations, especially not just corporate organizations, but non-profit organizations like NGO, Red Cross, UN, all of these things. And it's funny enough, if you know that 11th house is known as the trick house, the highest of the trick houses. And the way to easily interpret these trick houses, meaning trick. These houses trick you. And if you look deeper into the essence of the world, these big organizations that many of you want to work for, many of you feel that you want to give to humanity through these organizations, they're actually tricking you. It's a deeper subject, but they're not really there for the agendas that you think. 11th house also represents promotion and gain of authority in one status. So let's say, for example, if you have a position of a supervisor, well, 11th house can elevate you from supervisor to the vice president or district manager like position. It gives you awards. So like, for example, when an actor or actress wins some award, some filmmaker wins an award, the 11th house is strongly involved in these positions. So when Mars is there, see, you got to understand what Mars's avastha is. Mars is a very hot planet. It represents that energy because energy needs heat. Mars represents our competitive behavior because Mars represents how to take something. When you're hungry, for like 2 weeks, you have not eaten, you're about to die, and you see a piece of bread that somebody else wants to run after, you will do whatever it takes. Even if you have never fought before, you will try to kill that person because you want that piece of bread. Mars also represents logic in our life. It actually is a significance of logic like law, a lawyer, a fighter, an athlete. So within the Navamsa chart, you will notice that an individual is hard set on wanting to make new friends. They're wanting to gain power, and they're wanting to gain their or overthrow their competition through the connections that they make. These people will not make any connection which is useless. So for example, you're an accountant, okay? And you have an individual with the Mars in the 11th house. When they find out you're an accountant, you're a brilliant accountant, you know all the loopholes in taxes, loopholes in law, and they're like, my God, this person can help me. Said this person will seek this person, and they will do whatever it takes to become their friend. But if there's nothing to offer, this Mars will not be so enthusiastic to wanting to make a deeper connection. And Mars also here shows that one will suddenly gain in life, especially through marriage and partnership. One suddenly gains. So for example, through marriage, before marriage, let's say you were getting your regular promotions, but after marriage you go to a new company which not only gives you promotions and gives you a better status, but also they give you bonuses. So now what happens is, not only you do your part of doing that work, getting your salary, at the end of the year you make it a big bonus, $200,000 bonus. That's what Mars does here. The other thing we see is that Mars disturbs the connection with your own family. You will fight and argue with your family. You may even fight and argue with the family over land. How come my sibling is getting this land and I'm not getting it? There will be a situation that will come up. Even if you spiritually advance yourself and not caring at one point, but it would be an issue before that realization. And Mars obviously will have you eat a lot of food that contains a lot of energy. Like you will see young people, especially when they have Mars in the 11th, they will drink a lot of energy drinks. Whether back in the days it was Jolt, Mountain Dew, Red Bull, Monster, they want to consume something that gives them that energy so they can go out there and fight for their position. The other thing Mars does, gives you gifts through your in-laws. Hopefully your 8th house of your Navamsa and birth are in such a position where you are able to get something, and when Mars is in the 11th house, it will definitely bring many gifts through your in-laws. In-laws will be a big support in your fight to achieve something. The other thing Mars will do is that through marriage, you will also gain land. And not just one land, your primary residence. You may actually even get a rental property. You may buy a piece of land. So Mars is actually quite a potent position here, but this position will always have some mission and agenda. See, many people like to just have friends that they can make, and they can, have a good time with them, eat with them, drink with them, have their weed parties with them. But usually that particular Mars will be combined with another planet that lowers that intensity of Mars to always seek out only friendships that are useful. But when Mars is unafflicted here with any energy of any other planet, a person will seek only the network circles and friendships that helps them to achieve higher success. Because remember, Mars is a soldier. A soldier doesn't have time to rest. They have a mission to accomplish. There's always some mission that is happening. And even in an organization with this particular Mars, when you don't have a particular project to accomplish, when you're just doing redundant jobs, redundant work, this Mars will not let you be happy there. Like a company should give you a project that, listen, we have to accomplish this before this time, and then this person's Mars becomes activated, because they know by completing that, they will have a higher achievement, because it is in the 11th house. Okay, so this is the position of Mars, but of course with the sign placement, with the especially if you have software, then you can see the nakshatra placement will give a much more defined taste and refined taste. And also one thing that happens with this Mars, they want to fight. They want to fight for some large group. Whether it's your corporation, whether it's some nonprofit organization, whether you're even doing, let's say, some kind of activism, they want to fight for some cause. Because that is the avastha of Mars. Okay? So guys, this was my input on Mars in the 11th house of your D9 Navamsa chart. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below if you want to know where your Mars is placed, and along with all the astrological details. Check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow or tonight with another video. Bye-bye.